Hi, I want to tell you a story about Steve. Steve owned a shoe shop in the centre of town. It was a nice modern building, light and airy, with a lovely feel about it. Now Steve is about 5'11", 41 years of age, solid build from a lifetime of hard work, short black hair and with a ready smile that magically draws people to him. He dresses casually with a long sleeve grey button shirt, dress jeans and brogue shoes. "Hi Pete," said Steve. "Thanks for coming. You were recommended by my friend Dave, who said you'd helped him, so I'm hoping you can help me too." "Sure," I said. "But Steve, tell me a little bit about what's happening in your business." "Well," said Steve, "I'm going okay, but something's missing in my business and I need some guidance as to what it is. In fact, we're working 6 days a week and I've just opened the shop on Sundays now. What I didn't take into account though was I now have to pay my staff double time on a Sunday. It has really eaten into my reserves. I thought I was doing a good thing, but stupidly it has had the reverse on my profit." This, amongst several other things that Steve let me know, showed me where the holes were in the business and what Steve needed to do to resurrect his business. After a further hour and a half's discussion, I said to Steve, "I've got a proposal for you that will change your life and your business. Are you up for the challenge?" "Yes, I am, Pete, but what's the cost for your service first? I need to know that." "Steve, to implement what you need, it will be £4,000 plus VAT per month." "Wow, Pete," said Steve, "that's expensive." "I agree, Steve. If I were you, I'd feel the same way. But may I ask, expensive compared to what?" "With my experience, my clients know I'm not the cheapest, but they know they will receive real value. So what needs to happen for us to do business right now?" Well, I tell you, Steve and I didn't do business that day, as he went to someone else who was cheaper than me and who promised him the world. I kept in touch with Steve though, just to say hi every now and then. 7 months later, Steve came back to me, frustrated and angry. What he had been promised hadn't materialised and his business was now struggling. He was having difficulties business-wise, financially, personally and relationship-wise. "Pete, can you show me that infinity thing of how to do business that you showed me last time?" asked Steve. "Sure," I said. "But remember, there are potholes along this pathway, as you found out. You're going to fall into some of them on this journey, but you'll need to climb out, dust yourself off, and carry on along the roadway." This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, Steve. I'm not showing you that. It's a get-rich for sure though, but that takes time and it takes effort. Now, what has taken you about 10 years to get to is probably going to take you 4 or 5 years to undo. I just want to be very real and honest with you here. Steve looked at me incredulously. I said to him, "Do you remember your first day at school, Steve? And then for the next 10 or so years after that? You didn't walk into the classroom, sit down and start doing all the work, knowing what to do. You had a teacher up the front, leading, guiding and mentoring you. And I know you went on to university, but again, you weren't alone. You had a lecturer to teach you. If you hadn't, you'll still be there trying to learn. But the teacher and the lecturer speeded up your learning and your progress. Isn't it funny how we go into business and then we try and do it ourselves with no one helping us? Technically, and like most business owners, you know how to sell shoes. You're a great technician. You're really good at it. But you haven't been taught how to run a business, Steve." Steve thought about that. "Pete, that's so right. I've been floundering by myself for so long now. I'm ready yet nervous for this next journey because the last one with the other person didn't work." "Sure, Steve, but before we start, I need you to know that investing in yourself and your business will be £4,000 plus VAT per month, and I don't think we'll have it fixed within the first year. Are you still up for this? The other thing, Steve, at this school, if you don't do your homework, you don't get attention, you just lose money. Yes, Pete, I have to do something, or else I could lose my business and my marriage, which is definitely struggling at present because I'm at work all the time and I'm just never home. Okay, Steve, let me show you the 7 fundamental laws of business that you must master to be a business owner. The infinity thing, as you call it. And remember, money is the 6th thing we look at, not the first. Firstly, we need to get your mindset right. It's about the top 2 inches. Having the right mindset and controlling your thoughts and feeding your mind positive thoughts. This is what I call the freedom focus formula. And there are 2 types of psychology and mindset that you need to be aware of in this formula. Yourself and your clients. I really want you to understand what makes you tick. What makes you motivated? And please understand this, Steve, that your clients, the way they think is more important than the way you think, especially in these current times. Stop talking to your clients about how great you are and how amazing your product is. Listen instead to their needs and desires and find out what their problems are so you can offer a solution and help them through this epic time. Next, market, the second law. You must have credible products or services that solve people's problems. Plain and simple, especially in this climate. And I call this the powerful problem solver. People are looking for solutions to get themselves through these times, and if you can help them, then you can start printing money. People will want your solution because it fulfills a need they have. And remember this, credibility arrives on foot, but leaves on horseback. Once you've built your reputation, keep it and look after it. Law number 3 is media. You need to get yourself out there and position yourself as an authority in the marketplace, not an expert. This is what I call the authoritative message generator. Because at the moment in the marketplace, every single person is an expert. The world is awash with experts. So in this current climate, become the authority. It's time to stand out from the crowd and be that authority. Because you're going to drown in the sea of sameness as everyone else if you don't do something different. So you've got to start positioning yourself and adapting to a new rhythm. Law number 4 is machine, Steve. It's about systems, the business automation system, so that the business runs, not you. You must systemize the business so it's going to work all the time for you while you just watch the process repeating itself over and over. Why is that important? Well, here's the thing. If you're running a business right now and you don't have any systems in your business, then you don't really have a business. And what I mean by that is if all the operational things about running your business are stuck in your head, then it's no good to anyone. If you become sick and it's in your head, how can somebody else come in and run your business? I can teach you though how to systemize your business and what to do to get the stuff out of your head. Now's a great time to systemize your business, to start putting those processes and procedures that you've procrastinated about doing for so long. You've got to leverage technology and build systems, because once you've got good systems in place, you can move on to law 5, which is understanding that you need to have good people around you to run the systems for you. Having the right people to run your business is what I call the powerful people process. In fact, I'd say there are 3 types of people you need to pay attention to in this law. Number 1, your staff or your outsourced contractors. Number 2, your customers. please do me a favor. Stop selling to everyone who has got a pulse and a credit card. And the last one, number 3, the third type of person that you need to be aware of is your circle of influence. What's a circle of influence? Well, I'm going to teach you that, Steve. Step 6 is the law of profits. Now we look at the money once we've embedded all the other good habits. The repeating profit accelerator, because that's what we desire in our business. Recurring income that just continually drops into our bank account. I want you to understand something. If you're not making enough money, then that needs to be fixed. Because at the end of the day, you were put on this earth, Steve, not to pay bills and die. You weren't put on the earth to do that. And the last law is the law of mentorship. This law, now that all the others are in place and you have a business rolling along, means you need to lead properly and give back by leading and mentoring others. What I mean by this is you now have the opportunity and the duty of care to serve and give back and help others, to pay it forward, just like the help you may have received to get your business to this point. Now, Steve and I worked together for the next 3 years. A third of the time I told him it would take, putting in place strategy and implementing ideas to grow his business and make it successful. He paid me £77,000 over those 3 years. He fell into quite a few potholes, but he got up, got out, dusted himself off and carried on. And do you know what? Do you know what happened to Steve? Well, he opened another 2 shoe stores and used exactly the same system in each one to become successful. Steve travels the world now, taking holidays while his business works without him. Money drops into his account each week. About 3 years ago when I last spoke to him, his net profit was £183,000. And that's every year. Not a bad return on investment for a one-off £77,000 investment. So my question to you, where are you at in your business right now? Could it be you're struggling for money and just not making enough? Maybe you're working all the hours given just to try and turn a dime. Or possibly you don't have time for family or friends or yourself because you're working so hard. Potentially you're juggling so many balls in your business and you're dropping some of the important ones. Could it be you want to make changes but you just don't blink and know how to? Would you like to change like this and be like Steve? If you do, I'm Pete from Peak Performance Business Accelerator. I will help you achieve freedom so you have choices, more time, and make even more money. Be careful though, if you do come and work with me, you could be in danger of learning something.